Richard, we've caught up with you today. Last year, the tail end of the year, Big Andrew, aka the Panda, wanted to get down and cart a bit of maize with a big smith, and one thing led to another. You kept the smith and that was a great job, but not only that there, Big Andrew turned around and says, I've never ploughed. So you guys said, well look, as long as you bring the 70-60, only blew around here, as long as you bring the 70-60, we'll educate you a little bit and let you learn a bit of ploughing. And he was down there and he did a bit of ploughing, and we just sort of were saying to ourselves, right, we're going to follow these guys for the year, look at the whole farming side and bits and pieces. So we have been out a few times, so we're going to ask you to tell us a little bit about all the spring work that you do and what we have covered. I suppose it starts off with the slurry. That's a big thing.
Slurry is massive, I suppose, for us, and it's getting bigger. Me and the brother Victor believe in utilising slurry in as effective a way on crop and getting as much out of them as we can. We have, what have we got here?
This is the bit you have to think.
We've still got two 12 metre zebra bars. We have 24 metre zebra bar. We have a double cultivator as well for slurry, for putting slurry down in. We have a disc injector for putting slurry in. So that's, I suppose, our main pieces of kit, that sort of way.
Now, when you say 24 metre dribble bar, that's not normal, but even it has changed this year, because I do believe you had a tram spread and then you changed it to Vogelsgang, is that right, or something along those lines?
Yeah.
Why, or what's the reason there? Is one better than the other, do you think? Or,
well, both have their advantages, right? Suppose we run the tram spread there for 4 seasons, right? The only issue we had was, as behind us here, Victor runs the 270. The booms up the side of the cab on the New Hollands leave it very close. And with us doing a lot of road work and a lot of moving with her, we'll find it difficult to move her. And the other option would have been to buy a John Deere, and that wasn't, supposed, in the cards, you know.
Ooh, so the rumours were true. The reason you changed was Victor was afraid of scraping the paint off his new 270.
Well, pretty much, yeah. Well, also, suppose we changed as well. There is an idea, as you've been out and seen, we purchased last year a cloth saddle track where there will be an idea to put the 24 metre in the back of it. Somewhere along the line when we get our head shard and get her set up on it to do spring crop, suppose, more than anything, rather than the pipe. We do that much piping, suppose, our boys getting a sense, this sounds terrible, but they get sick of it. You know what I mean? When they get to a certain time of year, when silage, the grass fever, suppose, hits, they're not as keen to roll pipes out. And last year, instead of buying a tanker with a dribbler bar on her, we decided we had the opportunity, just researching on the internet, we had the opportunity of buying the second-hand saddle track. And last year we did over 600 hours on her, and it was only our first season with her.
Can I just say something at this moment in time? What a yoke. I could just, you know what, you could just park me in the corner of the field and blindfold me and just let me listen to it. It's what a machine to listen to work.
Yeah, I should climb the side of a mountain. Suppose we then, this winter, we bought, as you've seen, the 6 metre grubber, and rather than putting a big pile of expense into a macerator, we decided we built a distributor box on it. Coming back to, I suppose, fit in the back of mine and Victor's heads of, you know, trying something, keeping costs low. We didn't know what way it was going to work. We've ended up doing a lot of work with it so far, and probably later on in the year again, when we harvest on the stubble ground, we'll be doing a lot more work with it again. So that has came into being another way of utilising slurry, keeping any ammonia release into the atmosphere to a minimum and incorporating it into the soil better for when we're planting. Yeah. So,
but like when you see that machine going down the field, and as you said there, it's a 6 metre sort of grubber, and she's putting the slurry right down into where you want it, and you're working it through. But it legit, you know, it looks like a 4 metre does behind an ordinary tractor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's well able, but she's working, pulling all of that, like.
Yeah, as you seen the other day, as I had mentioned before, we do work in smaller fields and hills.
Yeah.
So we needed the horsepower there to Kyle, that drives her, likes the horsepower, he likes the power, so
Kyle seems to just like it. That's the
he just loves slurry. That's it. He just
and I suppose that was maize ground that we were out with him the other day. And you say then you have a disc can you disc with that machine as well?
Yeah, so we have also a 9.5 metre or 9 metre disc injector for the rear of it as well when we bought it. So we used it last year in grassland. On stubble ground we used it as well. And disc injected a lot of slurry with it last year with customers on ourselves.
And it's a case of watch this space, because at some point you'd like to see 24 metre dribble bar up on there, and potentially with the thought of top dressing grass, etc. throughout the summer. Which would you envisage ferrying it to it then, as opposed to pipe work?
Yeah, you know, our idea is now we're starting, I suppose, end of April. Our idea will be in the next few days that the pipe's hooked off. We're still piping. And we would like to think 90% of the slurry from now until probably mid-end of September will be done with the saddle track. That's sort of it. That'll be the aim.
That's the intention.
Yeah.
And obviously she's snorkeling it in from your tankers. I think it's worth, I see about just shy of 3,500 gallon in layman's terms. Is that roughly?
Well, she's a bit more because we moved the sensor up on her, so we'll fill her full.
All right.
So we'll modify the sensor.
She's meant to be.
She was meant to be. You know, so it's about 3.6, 3.7.
But she can suck that out. I was impressed with the speed at which she can take that out.
On an average run there, high from loadings to empties to backing into tankers around about 8 to 9 minutes. We can drop that by nearly another minute. We actually only have 6-inch snorkels on the rear of the tankers at the moment, because when we bought the saddle track and brought her home, it was one of those things that we're not going to put a massive amount of cost into this machine until we see, is it a success? You know, we went with a cheaper option of 6-inch snorkels. Now, anything that's...
You regret that?
Yeah. We're losing a minute every load now, you know what I mean, or near enough, you know. We can gain another minute. So anything that's coming on ahead will be 8-inch,
Well, just when we talk about ferrying then in the summertime, we were out with you at the Slurry. We could see it's not just tractors and your tankers ferrying. You'll send the lorries that can ferry and all as well, which is...
We think that when you want to get over about a 7 miles draw, that the lorries are cheaper. 6 to 7 miles, and we will be putting snorkels on the backs of the 2 tankers now in the next week or two. We started off just with tractor tankers because it was the simplest at the time, and with the winter being busy, we're having the time, but definitely now for our first cut.
So they've mostly just at this point been able to draw to the pipe as such?
No, the saddle track has the fitting on the front of her, so last year we were just connecting up a hose and sucking it in there. So we were using the lorries. I didn't want to cut into the lorries until we were definitely 100% confident, you know, that this was going to be a long-term thing for us, if you know what I mean.
But you can, you know, I can see it in my own head there. Like there's the summertime, the madness is on, the grass is on. You need the saddle track out in the field. You're maybe in it, not every yard, but the saddle track can come to you to it within a degree, so you can get the lorry. The lorries in theory be able to maybe service the likes of the saddle track if you need everybody else with trailers on and silage, the whole thing's just gone mad. So look, you know, it's a good option.
Yeah, well, last year what I noticed is when our team comes in the morning, right, and it's too wet for grass or it's too wet to go to grain, they can hook on 2 or 3 tractor and tankers, take the saddle track to a block of land and start it. If I decide, or Victor decides it's 11 or 12 o'clock we're going to grass, right, you turn the key, he gets out of her, he leaves her where she's sitting, they hook the tankers off, which takes a tanker off and a trailer on 5 minutes, we're away to grass. Do you know what I mean? That's it. You know, with inside, we can have us, the tankers are coming back to the yard and hooking trailers on, we're out with a harvester, we can have the whole outfit changed from slurry to grass in a matter of, you know what I mean, half an hour.
When you look at all the contractors around Ireland, you know, you're not on your own in that kind of thinking, because there's plenty of other contractors starting to think we need a way to get slurry down through the summertime, because what's probably the biggest cost now in farming, especially this, you know,
fertilizer. You know what I mean? Like that's, you know,
you've got the stuff to put on it.
Yeah, we've been investing, suppose, you know, in the last 4 years, in the slurry side of the business, as well as the grass side of the business, but slurry has been our, you know, I suppose, a wee bit more of a passion. You know, we've always been thinking outside the box, if you know what I mean, to try and do things.
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd. Listen to the rhythm, I'm feeling brand new. Keep pushing forward, it's gonna save you. Never look down, love, not when we shine so bright. The sun is getting warmer, but when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border. But when we're floating up like helium,
And at this stage, we're practically coming, as you said there, towards the end of April. What's all in the ground now? So is this the last bit of sowing here?
This is, yeah, bar now after first cut, we will do a bit of hull crop undersown with grass after we cut the first cut. But this is us now finishing off. We are finishing off the maize now, drilling the maize. Probably I'll have it drilled inside the next week, and we'll be getting itchy feet looking to start grass.
Victor was absolutely in love with his 270 that he had got, the tractor behind us, and he had it on the big Smith trailer, and I know you have it. Is he still as in love with this tractor? Because he used to be in love with his, I think it was his 245 previously.
No, 270, hey, obviously with the two of them now, I know, doing extremely well. As Victor an odd time would rave about looking to go to a 315 or something. We were over in the factory and that new screen and all this here. The only disadvantage it will tell New Holland, I suppose, in a sense, when we've had the conversation with New Holland, we can't get a factory air kit on her. We would love for ground compaction to be able to run an air kit like the Fendt, you know what I mean, a factory air kit. That's what would be our only disadvantage. That 270s is, in our views, is as good an all-rounder tractor as affordability as anything on the market, you know, and reliability. But the letdown when you go to that we can't let our tire pressures down, blow them up and do what we want, you know. And
that's something you would like to be doing.
Yeah. That's the way the business. Like Victor prides himself in his auto steer and his mopping all his fields out and his traffic light farming. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we're in Northern Ireland. Like, we're not in the middle of England, high with big fields. We're in Northern Ireland of an average size of a field, probably a 13, 14 acres, and we're trying to do what, you know what I mean?
You're in the Garden of Eden in Northern Ireland. Don't say average size of fields like that up our way.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so then you'll follow it right through, and we're going to hopefully stay with you guys all year. We're going to go out to the grass bits and pieces, and then the combine. And I heard you've took up specialist in export sales and combines now.
Yeah. Facebook's a brilliant place. Yeah.
Where did you sell her?
Moldova.
That's unreal.
On 3.5 weeks it took. They brought her through Ukraine, and they made it through Ukraine. How was her? Put her up for sale on.
Long she away.
She just landed there the other day. I put that snapshot up. She only landed the other day.
Wow.
3.5 weeks.
That must mean there's another one coming.
Yeah.
And New Holland?
No.
No.
We're not saying suppose in sense. No, we're stuck. We've stuck to class.
Trucks are still busy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trucks are busy. Yeah. At the moment.
PO box number here, looking drivers.
Lorries was near just a spin-off. You know, we ended up with one lorry, then we ended up with two, then we ended up with three, and then we ended up with four, and then we ended up with five. And that's just how the thing just rolled on. You know what I mean? It just.
But as you said yourself, you're looking at it, and there's an element of your business where it needs the truck. You know, there's an element of doing the thing right with a truck, and then there's an element of what you can and can't do when it comes. So farming's farming, and
our core business and our core roots, right, go back 20 years,
Yeah.
right? We're farmers, you know what I mean? But we're also businessmen as well. So we have to think about, well, now 1, employees, and 2, we have to think about spreading the risk to make the whole bigger business sustainable. You know what I mean? Long term down the road. And if the lorry spread the risk a bit, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, we still do the agri-contracting work, and like this year agri-contracting is going to be horrendous for contractors. Like, the cost of trying to run machinery with labour and diesel will put a lot of men to pressures that they've never seen. Do you know what I mean? But it's a part of our business, and we'll continue doing it because we're providing a service to good customers that have been here, you know, for a long time.
Now, you were talking there about your T7, your 270, and there's a boy up our way who, you know, was a blue man, but he sort of started going to the dark green man. But he came down to see you there, and he took away your old 4-metre drill.
Yeah.
and he's replaced that. Now, I was expecting a 6-metre, but is the 270 only fit for a 4 or what? No, I'm only joking. But you changed your drill there this year as well.
Yeah, well, I suppose Victor does the drilling.
Yeah.
Suppose I don't do a big pile. Suppose we'll get down to the long and short of it. Like, I just drive about. Like, you know, if you want to come down to the thing, I just get the hustle and everything.
And ring Johnny when it doesn't go your way.
Blame somebody else. You know what I mean? When it doesn't go. You know what I mean? Victor, I suppose, in a sense, he's in the field all the time. You know what I mean? I spend a lot of my time in the office,
of course,
behind the scenes, organising things. You know what I mean? We ordered the drill, I suppose, last March or April. We got it there January time, February time, or early February we got it, and we went full section control. We had our teething problems with it, but look, between Limca and New Holland, we came out the far side, and it definitely we're impressed with the machine. You know, we're not going to say anything else. Now, saying that, Victor loved his old drill. Do you know what I mean? His old drill did super well.
But you changed from the setup. You've brought your front, your bends to the front now. You're balancing your weight a bit better, and as you say, the full section. And Victor, he's getting the full. Like this isn't just a gimmick that was in the sales chat. He's using all of this.
Oh yeah. Because the first day it didn't work, and I can assure you one thing: hey, it works. It works.
Was that one of them conversations where you held the phone away? Do you think? But no, yeah.
One of those conversations is the Limkin man says it'll be all right. We'll get the drill going. Victor says I didn't bad. He says just to get it going, or just to have the drill going. I bought it that it does exactly what it says on the box.
That's just right, because it's easy in this modern world to sell things to a book, but it has to do exactly what it says in the tin. And this, as we get into this section control and all of this fine technology that these machines are capable of doing, it's heading towards the stage, and I can tell you this from a conversation with large agri dealers in the south of England, that when the GPS or the phone signal or the mass or whatever goes down, it's a legitimate breakdown now. You know, guys are running drills, you know, the way you have the back up here, you can still put the marker down, you can see it behind you there. Guys have them all screwed off.
Aye, well, that new drill has no markers on it.
Exactly.
And when he was saying if he goes under a bad tree and loses GPS signal, that was one of the issues with her. She was reading off the GPS, the seat stopped going out, so we had to get her taking it off the gearbox or something to the tractor. So yeah, there was fine tuning issues, you know what I mean?
But,
you know.
But now that it's up and running,
oh, I know, here, definitely impressed. We didn't go to the 6 metre because even though the land today is light, a lot of our winter crop is heavy ground. Do you know what I mean? We can grow, our ground suits wheat well. You know, our biggest, I suppose, acreage now of grain will be going towards wheat. As the heavier land suits, but when you get into that back end, it takes, like, you know, and like we don't stand here and tell lies. Like the 270's not even standard, and you can put her on her knees now. Do you know what I mean?
You'd be looking to step up to you'd nearly, for the likes of the ground you guys is working, you'd nearly be looking the likes of your 315 as an example, where you're nearly your 900s on her before you'd be starting into even a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, but as soon as we go down that stage, right, you know, Victor wants he can still click the 270 in a trail sprayer. We can still put it in a silage there. We'll still put it in a tanker. You know what I mean? We'll still put it in a paw hire. We can do every job in the yard with that machine. You know what I mean? And that, suppose, goes back to the thing is, we cannot afford as a business to have a tractor sitting there for one single use. That's just the way the business is. You know what I mean? We like keeping the kit fresh, but we do the work with it. You know what I mean? Our men would average between 2,500 and 3,000 hours a year on a tractor.
That's working hard. That's hard work.
We'll be working, but they're all dealer maintained. They go back in after 2 or 3 years and they're still like brand new. People don't understand,
Yeah.
But we do big hours on them.
Well, Richard, hopefully in a few weeks' time, not be a lot longer, we'll get out a lap at the silage. It'll be good to see the Smith trailer out again. See how you got on with it at Grass, because I know it came along last year at the Maze. We know you were very impressed with it at that, so it'll be very interesting to see how you get on in and around, a lot of the grass, and see how you feel it carries. Richard, thank you. We'll see you again soon. Looking forward to get out a lap at the silage where you're in your natural habitat. A harvester. What was that line? I don't drive tractors.
I don't
drive harvesters.
What do you call it?
It's the Hey Johnny.
Well, I blame Johnny, because it was what he called. He used to drive the tractor, so it's definitely his fault if she didn't go well. And if I had knew the way everybody else's was, should have went a lot better. I can assure you one thing.
Oh, well, here, don't you worry. I'm working on a plan to test that.
I want a rerun. You see, the next time that we go there.
It's a different rerun.
Rerun.
We might need to borrow the Smith for that day.
Well, what do you call it?
Well, this will not only test your harvesting ability and your horsepower ability. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you. Cheers.
Sip me up like lemonade. We both know it's bittersweet. The sourness will bite your tongue, knowing it's forever young. Listen to the rhythm, I'm feeling brand new. Keep pushing forward, it's gonna save you. Never look down, love, not when we shine so bright. I know the sun is getting warmer, but when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border, but when we're floating up like helium.